So, if you're a parent and you're just looking for a calmer way to connect with your kids, maybe break some old habits, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to unpack a really powerful approach that professionals use to build incredibly strong family bonds.
Sounds a little dramatic, right? Maybe. But seriously, it's true. Social workers who deal with some of the toughest situations out there have this specific skill that can honestly transform how a family works. And today, we're going to unpack that superpower.
Okay, so let's get into it. And don't worry, this isn't some kind of magic trick that only certain people can do. It's a skill called reflective parenting, and it's something absolutely anyone can learn. It's really all about shifting from those autopilot reactions to more intentional, thoughtful responses.
Okay, so what is this really at its core? Well, psychologists have a fancy term for it, parental reflective functioning. But in plain English, all it really means is remembering that your child has this whole inner world going on, you know? It's all about taking that tiny pause to wonder, what's really going on in their head right now, instead of just reacting to the behavior that's driving you crazy.
So, okay, why should you even bother with this? Is it worth the effort? Well, the research is absolutely clear on this. When we do this, we build much stronger, more secure attachments with our kids. They actually learn to manage their own big emotions because we're showing them how. And this is the part that's huge for us parents. It actually lowers our stress levels and means we don't have to rely on harsh discipline. It's a total win-win.
All right, let's bring this down to earth. Because it's one thing to talk about theories, right? But what does this actually look like when you're in the middle of a really frustrating moment? We're going to walk through a scenario that I'm pretty sure is going to feel familiar.
Just picture this for a second. It's been a long day, the room's a total mess, and bam! A toy goes flying across the room. What's your first instinct? Probably frustration, right? Maybe even a flash of anger. Your shoulders tense up, and you're just ready to react. Now look at the difference here. It seems small, but it is huge. The first reaction, the non-reflective one, it's basically an accusation. You're slapping a label on them, disrespectful. And that just slams the door on any real conversation. But that second one, the reflective reaction, it starts with an observation and then it gets curious. It opens a door. It's like saying, hey, I see you, and I really want to understand what's going on.
And this is so important. This isn't about just letting your kid get away with bad behavior. Not at all. It's about creating this little bubble of emotional safety. When a child feels understood instead of attacked, their defenses just drop. And that is where the real connection happens. From that connected place, we can guide their behavior way more effectively.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great in theory, but how am I supposed to do this when I'm stressed out and my kid is having a full-blown meltdown? Well, you need a toolkit, and that's what we've got. 4 really simple, practical tools you can literally start using today. Okay, here they are. First up, the 10-second pause. Seriously, before a single word comes out of your mouth, just count to 10 and ask yourself what your kid might be feeling. Second, the wonder statement. Instead of yelling, "Why did you do that?" Try something like, "I wonder what's making this so hard right now." Third, name it to tame it. Just say the feeling out loud for both of you. I can see you're really angry, and I'm feeling frustrated. And last, but definitely not least, number 4, repair quickly. Because let's be real, we are all going to mess up. You know, I really want to pause on that last one for a second, because it might just be the most important tool of all. So many of us grew up with this idea that parents have to be perfect, always right, always in charge. But that's not what builds a strong relationship. What does? Being able to admit when we got it wrong. This right here, this is what a repair can sound like. And listen, saying this isn't a sign of weakness. It is a sign of incredible strength. You're taking responsibility, you're modeling what it means to be emotionally aware, and you're showing your child that your relationship is strong enough to handle any mistake. And that's the real magic of repair. Just think about that for a second. Actually going back to fix a disconnect, to say you're sorry and reconnect, it builds more trust than if the fight had never even happened in the first place. It teaches your child this deep, profound lesson. No matter what, you will always come back to them. So, the big question is, how do we make this our go-to reaction instead of something we have to desperately remember in a crisis? Well, like any new skill, it just takes practice. The key is to start small, really small, and weave these tools into your daily life so they just become second nature. So, here's a super simple way you can start. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just pick one tiny moment in your morning routine. Maybe while your coffee's brewing, you just take that one 10-second pause. Or if breakfast gets a little wild, try out a single, "I wonder" statement. The goal here is not perfection, it's practice. Small, consistent steps are what build a habit.
When you really boil it all down, everything we've talked about, it all comes down to one single fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about letting go of the need to be certain about why your kid is acting out, certain you have the right answer, certain you're in control, and instead just embracing curiosity.
So I'm just going to leave you with this question to chew on. What would change in your family, in your home, if you started approaching those tough moments not with the certainty of a judge who already has the verdict, but with the genuine curiosity of a detective who just wants to understand? What if being curious about your child's inner world and about your own was your single most powerful parenting tool?